Hey guys, so I decided I needed a new computer desk. And this is me doing what I usually do at the beginning of a project. I'm just sketching up what I think in my head will work. In this case, it's going to be two tables, a joint, one missing a leg for leg room. And just drawing out what measurements I think I'm going to need. And it's time for cutting the boards. So these are the legs. All of this lumber was bought from my local home store. It's all just cheap pine. And I'm measuring out the apron boards. These are going to be mitered at a 45. And I finally got all the boards cut, and now it's time for sanding. Lots and lots of sanding. Some of this stuff was pretty rough since it was just cheap pine lumber. And you can see me enjoying it. I kind of cheated on the tops. I saw that these butcher block style tabletops were on sale, and I really liked the way they look. And I just thought that they would look even better with stain, which will happen later. So here I'm just wood gluing the mitered corners, and these will get brad nailed. What I didn't film was the brad nails were eventually covered with wood filler and sanded, so you couldn't see the marks. The pre-made tops will just be wood glued to the aprons. I added a whole bunch of weights for even distribution and let it sit overnight. The wood glue has more than enough strength to hold these. So the idea with these legs was to make them easily removable in case I wanted to change anything in the future. So it's just pre-drilled holes and 2 screws. I hate Phillips heads. Nevertheless, here I am putting them in. Like I said, these legs aren't glued in or anything. They can be easily removed. The fasteners can be switched out at any time. So what I'm doing here is getting the screws started in the, I guess you'd call them stretchers. I'm sure somebody can correct me on that later. And I'm just fastening them to the legs. So this is the last stretcher, and that first table is finished. With the build, anyway. So I did the same thing with the second table, except it had one more leg. And this is it all put together. So now it's time for stain. They call this red oak stain. It's my favorite, but it looks nothing like red oak. I really like how dark it is. I don't really let it sit in and soak too long. I think no more than 15-20 minutes before being wiped off. The trick is to not let it dry and to wipe off the excess. And here's the top getting stained. Making sure to cover every bit of that pine. And then it's time to wipe off the excess. I decided to go with poly to finish it all off. Poly's my favorite to use, especially on stained furniture. I think it just looks the best. I'm not really a fan of that really shiny plastic look. And this is the finished product. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I don't think I'd really change anything about it. So I just temporarily joined these two together using mending brackets underneath so that they could actually be used for something else if need be as two separate tables. This was a simple, inexpensive, down and dirty build. Not fine woodworking by any stretch of the imagination. But it was something I needed, so I made it. Maybe you can do the same. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you would like to see more videos like this, click the subscribe. Thanks, guys. On to the next project.